This year, more than ever, our Department of Animal Protection has been faced with some especially tough abandonment cases that really showcase the strain that is put on this department and our organization as a whole.
Tilda was a big case of ours this year. She was this young, horribly emaciated, wounded puppy that just wanted love regardless. She went to a loving foster home for several months and spent time for almost a year recovering before she was finally adopted. It's truly a miracle to get to see some of these dogs sometimes, the situations they come out of. The difficult thing was that just 3 months later, a very similar case came in with another dog that desperately needed our help, and soon after that, more followed.
I don't know how much longer she would have lasted in that house.
Animal rescuing, we have a warrant. If you're home, come to the door, please.
I received a call regarding a dog possibly abandoned inside a residence for several months. When I arrived on scene, I spoke with the neighbors who advised they hadn't seen the neighbors in weeks. When I initially saw her, my heart completely sunk. She was so severely emaciated, I wasn't sure how she was still living in that home, and I knew we needed to act fast.
Nobody was in fact coming or going to provide any kind of care for her. Based on her body condition score with how skinny she was, we were pretty certain that if we didn't proceed with a warrant as soon as possible, that she wouldn't have made it.
She probably hadn't seen people in weeks. That's not the condition she was supposed to be in. She is one of the thinnest dogs that I've ever seen. It was heart-wrenching, to say the least. Her collar was so loose that it was dangling on her. She was living off of probably just filling her belly with trash that was in there. Oh, that might make me cry. Buffy has a long road ahead of her. She has healed a lot since she's been in our care. She's made strides. I'm really proud of her. I love seeing her every day, but she still does have a long road to go.
Every cruelty case that we handle is different. The court process, unfortunately, takes a significant amount of time to get through. That can mean a few months. That can mean up to a year. In Buffy's case, because there is no owner attached, we are expected that process is going to take a little bit longer. So she stays on a hold until the court proceeding is through and we are granted ownership. At that point, she can be placed up for adoption and put into a loving home. Unfortunately, our shelter does see abandonment cases more often than we would like. Just 2 weeks ago, we got a beautiful dog named Eeyore into our shelter. His body condition score when he came into the shelter was so low, if it was possible to rate a body condition score as 0, it would be Eeyore. Normally in cases like these, in the job that we do, we try to separate our emotion from the job that we have to come in and face every single day. Unfortunately, for cases like this, it's extremely hard to separate your emotion and your heart from what's needed at that time. I got extremely attached to this dog the second that he came into the shelter and knew that if he had a shot, it would be in foster with someone, which is why he ended up at our house. His first night with us, we did end up going to the emergency room with him. He was extremely pale and super lethargic, and we were worried that he wasn't going to make it through the night. I cried the whole way there and cried in the waiting room and then cried the whole way home. Mainly because I assumed that was going to be the last time that I would see him. There was honestly not a lot of life in his eyes, which was really hard for us to see. You never know in moments like that. The state that this dog came into our shelter was one of the worst that I've ever seen in my career. He is on the upswing now, and he's eating well, and he is a happy boy, and it's only up from here. He has gained 5 pounds. He does have a lot more weight to gain though. A dog of his size should probably gain double what he weighed in at on his first day with us. He's learning to become a dog and learning what it's like to be loved by a human. Now loves spending time with my dogs and my cats, loves to sleep, loves to snuggle, gets super excited for breakfast, lunch, second lunch, and dinner.
Animals like Tilda, Buffy, and Eeyore face a long journey with ongoing medical needs, daily meals, and the general cost of care that continues to add up. Their fight is our fight, and we need the support of our community to make it possible.